Goes on.
So we're gonna.
You superstars have come because how many Melee 2.0 questions did you see?
Steve said there was lots of questions.
I saw some Melee 2.0 questions.
Yes, thank you very much for coming. Pablo, come.
Hopefully, this is kind of like this is like the after credits roll, right?
This is the after credits.
after
credits.
An amazing UI live stream.
If you guys stayed for the stream, you get to stay for the bonus.
You guys.
No, that's like a minute and a half late.
No sound.
It's on. Okay.
It's on.
It's on. Audio, please. Hello. Hello.
I had it off for a minute. It's fine.
Yeah, Jeff. Yeah, Steve. So they're just realizing you're here now. So.
But that was really cool.
Oh, you got one?
Like definitely a lot of great stuff. I loved seeing the time lapse of the HUD, man.
That was crazy, eh?
So much work went into those iterations. I couldn't believe how many frames. It was like that. Hopefully someone. I don't know.
There will be a GIF of that.
I hope there's a GIF.
Every
of that.
time someone's asked for a GIF of Sheldon, namely Jeff, the GIF occurs. So.
It does.
So.
Yeah.
So you guys are here now. Melee 2.0 questions coming out the chat. I know it was a UI stream, but you've come to talk about a few more things. So if you're still watching.
So Melee 2, we're not next week for Melee 2.0, right?
We're not.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I'll probably take.
I'm inspired by these guys who didn't dodge any questions.
Yeah.
They were just like yes, no, red, green. That was very awesome. It is going to be. We're hoping very soon after that, though.
Yeah.
Maybe the week after that. But again, there's a volatility there because of how much iteration and change.
We're nervous to guarantee that.
Yeah. And I think what happened was at some point we hit Melee 2.0 internally and looked at it and went, people are too excited about this.
I know, yeah.
This is going to disappoint them. Back to the drawing board.
Honestly.
That's literally been happening. So the delay and the kind of talking about it for so long has been getting to a point where the anticipation exceeded what we were going to deliver. So
time to deliver on the expectations.
So
I guess so.
Jeff's team and Jacques, who was the programmer working on it, dug deep and I think came up with some really exciting stuff. So
Jacques came into work this morning. Jacques was pretty excited. He had some ideas that are really great. I don't know if you want to expand on that.
Couple breakthrough that he had.
I'm going to demand explanations.
Yeah,
I think this is such an exciting thing still, and
I think we've been talking as well with the stuff that Scott wants to do with it, as well as creating constraints for it as well. But to use Dorian's phrase, aspirational. This is more an aspirational explanation. We might still fall on our face or have to modify things. But I can say that there will be some changes to Melee that might take some getting used to. For example, right now we're testing very hard constraints on. You need to equip the melee weapon to do blocking maneuvers.
Yes.
You need to equip the melee weapon to do some of the more damaging heavy attacks. And that quick tap of that melee button when you're not equipped is very much like just a quick reactive strike. And isn't really about really getting up into those high-end like damage ratings and damage numbers and expressive combos. So
we're talking about mods that will change the behaviors of your melee weapon. Maybe add new combos. So. New combos, new moves that you can do that are special moves, like as far as like the typical jump attack or slide attack. So we've kind of even just blown up the content that the content was huge, and just this morning probably doubled the amount of content we're going to be creating for this as well. So,
and I think the reason I'm very excited about that is I think this is going to give people a chance to customize the way that their particular hammer works, or their fast daggers work. They can use a mod to change the way their leap attack works. They can, and that mod is going to bring a new play style, a new aesthetic to the moves that you're triggering, like you would sort of normally now, like a leap off the wall or a slide attack. These are things that you'll be able to change based on the weapon type, but are at the same time going to address the damage differential these weapons need, right? Because they're very low on the sort of DPS scale. So
exactly.
Which we're going to kind of started the whole question of melee needs to be redone. And now
so we're not going to make you grind out mods in order to get this new system. All the new stuff is going to come in there. The equipping is going to give you stat boosts. For example, it's sort of Counter-Strike-y. If you're equipping the light daggers, you're actually going to get a little bit of a speed boost. So you're
not inhibited by 110 pounds.
So there is when you switch to those weapons, there is going to be the beautiful posture when you're running around in those things is awesome enough. But there are going to be statistical differences so that you can kind of close the gap and do a lot more damage right now, so that they become viable versus the gunplay.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that's kind of in a nutshell what you can expect is, switching to the melee mode, that the quick attacks are going to still always be there, but you're not going to be opening up as much damage and as much combo potential. And then every weapon style is going to have interesting new mods that bring new attacks.
Right.
So the glaive might have, whirling fan, which is going to, in block mode, is going to deflect all this damage back at the guy. And there's going to be tons and tons of customization options there
per weapon type.
And they're going to come with. People might be concerned, well, I'm out of slots already on my melee weapon. These mods are actually going to come with attributes and damage bonuses and that same kind of benefits.
So in terms of just design and the general question, and this is because we're talking about mods as being a part of the system now, people say that serration is the must-have because it is just outright damage bonus. So you're saying that potentially the damage boosting mods for melee are actually going to be circumstantial, so it's not just going to be a straight up increased melee damage mod. It's going to be really increased melee damage when doing X. So it's So it's damage based on your playstyle.
Yeah. Yes. You're still going to have those baseline ones, but then to really kick up into the DPS things. And I think it's an interesting choice of customization and skill. So that, okay, I got my massive sword, I'm going to equip the crazy, death from above, and that's going to give my jump attacks tons more damage to stack on top of all the other mods I have.
Right. So
but you'll need to play that. You'll need to be using your skill to kind of get that extra.
You have to do a jump attack to get the damage.
Yeah, it's as simple as that, which involves timing and slightly more skill than just ramming on crits and procs and stuff on your thing and swinging it by ramming the E key. So.
Now I don't want. When people hear this news, I feel like I don't want people to think that Melee 2.0 just turned into mods on weapons as what Melee 2.0
No,
is.
definitely not.
So there's still, from the animation and reactivity side, there's still that whole library of changes.
The melee enemies and their hit reacts.
The melee enemies are getting hooked up right now. We're kind of in a pretty, we're balancing out we've talked about how you can parry.
Yes.
Other melee attacks now that opens up a heavy attack. We're balancing that right now. Right now it's too easy.
Right.
It's game-breakingly easy just to walk up, parry, kill. So we're making it have a high risk reward, timing based. So if you do want to pull it off, it's gonna be skill based. If you pull it off, you'll get a big damage boost out of it. But if you mistime it, you'll take a huge damage hit. So that stuff's kind of getting all design-wise, kind of getting balanced out right now.
All right.
Well. And I think of these mods as a way of packaging new combos for your weapons,
Absolutely.
right? And giving players the ability to say, well, you know what, I like all the base quick attacks, but I like my heavy melee attack to be an arc that goes 360 around me, and it has procs for impact and things like that.
Right.
So we're using that as a metaphor to open up more expressiveness and have them opt into it.
You already had some pretty creative names this morning.
I did have some good names. I'm completely drawing a blank on them right now. Weeping Willow. I was using Kung Fu analogies. I was like Snake and Crane and Weeping Willow and all this other kind of cool stuff.
Yeah. So it might change stances to a degree. It could change the behavior of how you swing your
Well, you're
axe,
specializing your melee now.
Yeah. So Jacques' idea was really ambitious.
Yeah.
From an interface side, I was thinking about my two friends here on the couch, but we're starting that, embodying a particular type of input and a particular type of attack as being customizable, upgradable, and overridable by the mod system, which means a whole new cool mods and new ways of customizing the melee weapons you might have had for the last year.
Right.
And now you're going to be able to freshen up. I really like this weapon cosmetically, but what I want to mix it up animation or play style. That's going to let you do that. So again, but this
is not happening next week.
This is not happening next week, but it is something early next month, and we are working as fast as possible, and Geoff is whipping everyone to get those animations done.
Does the whip get a new melee animation? Because maybe you're just whipping people because you're mocapping.
It's kind of trailing off.
So clever.
I never got to do the you and I UI stream pun, which I just realized now.
Oh.
You didn't start with that?
No.
I might have missed the first part of the stream.
I wonder why. Oh, my screen just went. Anyway, so
that's it.
Well, thank you for telling us that.
I just saw questions about that.
How would a player toggle melee with the weapon controller? Now these guys got to go back and figure that stuff out.
We have a few proposals, and we'll have to basically focus test it internally to figure out what we like the most.
Definitely, yeah. It's going to be a big impact on you guys, I think, once it's...
So this is actually a meeting now? This is not
totally.
telling the UI team what...
Yeah, and we did talk about putting it in the regular switch cycle.
Yep.
And then potentially talking to you guys about having a bit of UI feedback so that you can very quickly see where you're in the switch cycle. So it's just tap, 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 or tap to return. So definitely the PS4 audience and the PC audience both are massive to us, and it's important to make those controls work.
Get the same experience.
Absolutely.
Same game.
Yep.
All right. Any last thoughts? Did you like the fan art of it?
Oh God.
Just kidding. Cool. So Melee 2.0 not next week. Lots of sophistication going into it.
Yeah, and even poor Jeremy, I think when he looked at the amount of animations he had to do an effects pass on, it's a lot of work for him even just to kind of get working on.
But Canada won the game, so everyone should be inspired
to
totally win the game.
What was that glaive move you're talking about?
Well, talking like with what you were just talking about with having a mod that maybe affects how a specific action, or sorry, it can change how a specific action does. Right now, like a jump attack.
Yep.
Sung did an animation where right now when you do a ground slam with the glaive, you just pretty much, it's just like all the other ones, but he animated it so that you throw the glaive into the ground while you're in the air still, and you kind of catch up to it.
That's very cool.
So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
That's awesome.
There's a lot of new variety coming in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Totally.
I feel like getting a spec of the way mods will play into this will be very interesting to see, because you've seen time after time, some people feel mods aren't the solution, sometimes they feel they are, but this is, if your play style and skill is paying off because of what the mods do, I think that's
These are definitely like amped up in terms of what our regular mods are, because they're bringing animation, behavior, timing, right, and it requires skill to activate.
Yeah.
Most of our mods are just, it's there and everything's getting better. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Right?
This is a different playing field for those mods. Very, very exciting.
Yeah. Right.
Yes, we will.
Okay. Well, sorry to derail.
Sorry to crash the party.
This is a bonus stream.
We
were done.
Now we're gonna close with Steve's interpretation of Canada's national anthem.
No. All right.
All right.
Yeah.
That's all.
Thanks for watching. And peace out.